often hear and understand that our families may have some mistrust of the school system, and that may be due to their own past schooling experiences that didn't feel so positive. It could be that they don't feel welcome in the school. It could be that sometimes they feel like there's been inconsistency in when they're allowed to be involved in school, and some broken promises there. And we actually were surprised to learn, and something hadn't really considered but made perfect sense, is that some of them reported they had a fear of being judged by other parents. They would say things like, well, those parents attend and they attend everything, and I can't attend everything. And so I feel like they're going to look at me like, why are you here? Then we had another who said, well, I don't know who I would go with to something like this. And that really showed us that we had, just some social anxiety. And that's completely understandable. Frankly,
Mhm.
it's the last thing I ever want to do is show up at an event with people I don't know and have to make small talk. Earlier in my career, when I was a principal, we wanted a lot of family engagement in our school. And I had a parent who was often, the smiling parent there dropping his grandchildren off, and we wanted him to be involved. And he did a few things, but he did some things like volunteering to greet people at our harvest festival.
Mhm.
But once I talked to him and we were trying to invite him to come to our special education advisory committee, he said to me, and I'll never forget this, he said, Miss Marcia, that would be considered disrespectful in my culture. Uh,
Oh.
Teachers are the experts, and that would be
Mm.
disrespectful for me to be telling you what to do. Is we always need to make sure that we know that we're using language that everyone understands. And one of my big things that I'm often saying is we need to avoid acronyms as much as possible. We often speak in education in acronyms, and even helping families understand what an ELAC, English Learner Advisory Committee, is, and beyond even the acronym for it, it's okay, what really does this group do?
Mhm.
And that was another important piece of learning for us, was helping families understand. A strong one for me as well that I learned after I was helping a friend with her child, as she was going through the IEP process with her child, who was diagnosed with a disability, is she had been working with her child for many years through this process. And I thought she was very well versed in IEPs, special education, the process that she was engaging in with all of these meetings she was holding at school. And in one of our conversations one day, I realized she didn't understand. And she said, "Oh, it's that document, that we have to sign every few years, for him to get the aid." And I realized then she didn't understand everything else that is actually involved in the IUP and the voice that she has in the process. And I think that's an important one too, is to make sure that we're not just having our families nod,
Mhm.
and we are actually making sure that they're understanding what we're saying, and the kind of involvement and engagement that we want with them in terms of that kind of decision making.